Hello, I is here. I keep opening with that, I is bird. It's one of my favorite sketches from Tom Scott. I think I might have screwed up my throat a little bit. It's like I came in here after I had a shower. I ate something, had a shower, and after I eat my dinner, that's when I usually have my pipe of the day. And I had my entire pipe because I was just so engrossed and just kind of just fascinated and just messing with AI. I know I keep talking about AI a lot, but I basically just was not noticing and just kind of just sitting here and just making tweaks to things and just puffing away. And basically I was like, I don't normally have my entire pipe after dinner. I normally have it I normally have half of it while I'm just checking mail, watching TV in here, letting my dinner go down, maybe having a wank, and then I do a live stream or I get on with some work or whatever, and then I usually have the rest of it before I go to bed. But no, I basically had had the whole thing just sat here, just fucking with AI and just upscaling a lot of my old artwork and stuff. I was actually having a fight with it because my buddy Ian, who I talked about a lot, I shouldn't just go into talking after I've done a whole pipe. Although I think this might be just hay fever again. I don't know. The nose is definitely hay fever, but the throat and the voice is definitely because I've just been chugging away, finishing my not small pipe while I've been just doing the AI thing, and it's not good for you. It's not good for you to be absent-mindedly doing it, you know. Anyway, yeah, I have been, as in case anybody didn't know this, I think is coming into the stream or is watching this on playback, I've been upscaling a lot of my old art and my old pictures, just my art. I haven't done anything with pictures, and just basically just seeing what the AI can do. After a recommendation from a buddy, after a recommendation from a straight friend, in fact, not like anybody from the bear or the gainer or the inflation community or any fur affinity or anything like that. It was literally just one of my straight buddies basically said that he's still in illustration, and he's in illustration, he's in concept art anyway. He said that he runs his sketches through AI first to just see if they give him a new perspective, or if they basically just they kind of move things around on a spaceship or on a wizard staff or something that he's drawn and sketched out and stuff. And he said it's super helpful. And I was like, well, that's kind of intriguing. I'm going to see what I can do. I know a couple of people that use AI and use photographs. I don't like people that create art from scratch on using AI. I feel like that is a bit of a cheat, because I feel like the AI is using other people's artworks or pictures to get those images going. So it's getting cold in here. Yeah, the air's a bit clearer now. Yeah, because yeah, of the reasons that I said. But if you use it to like essentially kind of like see if there's like an avenue you haven't explored, or like to upscale your pictures or whatever, it's like I feel like that is like, if you're editing your work, I feel like that is just, it's just another tool to do that. You know, if I basically started to add things, like a background or something, then that would be kind of like that would be crossing the line, I think. But I've literally only just kind of like, basically made things either photorealistic or enhanced what I've already got drawn. And it's like it's been a fun experiment, and it's just weirdly fun to like fuck with my pictures, especially to see if like the people that have asked for these pictures, I could basically like do more. It's just fun to play with them and stuff. So yeah, I've been doing that. That's what I've been doing in the past like couple of hours. I might actually have a problem. However, I feel like once I've finished, going through my catalog of all of my art, once I finish doing that, I think I'm done. I think that's where the interest will be like sated. So I don't see this being an ongoing problem. It's literally only until I've run out of pictures that I've done, which I'm coming to the end of one like folder. So there's that. I think I'm coming to the end. I think I might be in the middle almost of this one particular folder. And this is the folder that I'm using at the moment is the human art, um, that I have posted to various places, that has been posted like over the internet, all over the pages and social media and stuff. Like, if it's been posted to some place else other than just the archive for Affinity or something, then like that's the folder that artwork goes into. That is human art. So yeah, I've been going through that folder. Once that folder's done, then the other folders are relatively smaller, apart from the furry one, which is big. The furry used art, my furry used art folder is bigger than this one, and it's next, I think. So yeah. Hey, Panda Fox. Forgive the thing. I did explain why at the beginning of the stream. My voice and the bit of croakiness. So yeah, that's generally what I've been doing. So I have a problem for now, but it's only annoying because I have a bunch of projects that I need to like keep going with, especially if I'm going to get paid for a couple of them. So yeah. In other news, well, actually no. What did I do yesterday? Yesterday I just did some work. I did some sketching. So there's not really much. There's not really much to report. I basically cleaned up. I did some chores and I cleaned up, and I basically, yeah, I finished some sketching and some artwork and stuff. Well, I finished some parts of some sketching and artwork and stuff, and I will be getting on to that later. But yeah, in other news, this is the bit. Yeah, another YouTube channel of mine has been taken down. This is less than a week after one of my other channels was taken down, and yeah, I don't know if YouTube is cracking down on certain content, although I suspect that's not the case on account of like these videos that there are videos that are not public, that are essentially the same videos but on a different channel. They're just unlisted, and they've passed through the YouTube's scanner and come out fine. I don't I don't ever post explicit content. I don't ever post anything that's like obviously sexual or anything in nature. I intentionally film like you know, above the belt. It's just it's I don't understand why now these are being taken down. So there's only like a couple of possibilities, and one of them is that somebody out there doesn't like me and is basically mass flagging my content. And again, I kind of suspect this one more than the other options on account of, again, um, on a certain channel, there is basically all of this content is also available. However, it's only available to patrons. So and it hasn't been touched. It hasn't got any like warnings or community guideline strikes or anything. So I'm suspecting it's somebody that's like that doesn't have access to the patron feed, and also just doesn't like me for some reason. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I already said with when the last channel got deleted, um, it's like I kind of assumed that this was an inevitability and stuff. So I'm not super worried or anything. It hasn't really affected me. I literally got the email and was like, oh, okay. You know, it was like, you know, moving on with what I was doing. You know, um, yeah, it's. I wouldn't worry about it too much. You know, yes, it's a bummer that basically that content isn't like publicly available anymore, but like I am working on solutions. Um, I would still like help with the solutions if anybody has solutions. Basically, I am trying to find either a free website generating place, a free mass cloud storage space, or just another video archive or video uploading host to basically upload my archive to it. At the moment, I've got my Just for Fans, but that isn't a public archive. I can't basically like only people that are subscribed to that can see it, and I completely understand people who like can't afford, because I'm in the same boat. People who can't afford to basically like pay for content. I totally get that, and I totally want to show you guys. And YouTube is like being a little bit like harsh, I guess, on this stuff at the moment. So like I'm open to ideas and suggestions for uploading my stuff to different places. Yeah, somebody did suggest to me the other day that I should just go back to Flickr and upload my stuff there and just like eat the cost of having a premium account on Flickr. But it was like that's not possible. The Flickr is expensive, so no, like not going back there. Um, like Tumblr doesn't allow like huge, large video files. You know, um, I have. Oh, here's another option, and but it's still a paywall. But I have had an increase in friends. Basically, it might just be because I've seen a bunch of friends at Bear Bash and stuff. But I haven't had an increase of friends who have basically either have got OnlyFans or um, have started OnlyFans, or know people who have OnlyFans that basically are just suggesting that I open up an OnlyFans account. However, I would need kind of like somebody to manage that at least partly for me, because like I can't take it. OnlyFans is too stressful. It's really irritating. Like I remember the amount of time every time, even though I set it to basically like log in from this computer. Every time I went to that site, I had to log in. I think I got it. Yeah, every time I went to that site, I had to log in, and it was just a painful experience. And like I keep telling my friends that suggest this, Nobody really subscribes. It's like 3 people subscribe, and like 2 of them are essentially like in my family group. Basically it's like, yeah, my partner subscribes, and so does my boyfriend, and that's it. It's like I might get 1 or 2 extras, but that's it. I'm not complaining, by the way. I'd like to, I've I is it Tuesday today? Was it today that I talked to my therapist? Yeah, it was well, technically it's Wednesday now for me, but it was Tuesday yesterday. I did talk to her yesterday. Yes, I talked to her today. God damn it. But we didn't talk about anything therapy related. It was more just kind of like a friendly chat session more than it was a therapy session. Maybe that's why I'm kind of like blanking on, like, did I have my therapy today? I don't know. But yeah, as she will tell you, I have incredible self-worth issues. So when I say that, basically it's like I totally understand why people didn't subscribe to my OnlyFans. I totally subscribe. I totally understand why people do not want to see me. I get it, you know. Like, I'm unappealing, and I understand that. Again, half joking, half kind of like incredible self-worth issues. Um, so yeah, I'm willing to put in the work if basically it's worth it, but like I don't think it will be worth it. I'm just not that, I'm not that hot, for like OnlyFans. So yeah. So it's like I can give you proof, I can give you evidence. For example, my Just for Fans is barely worth it, and that's mainly because of the community there. Like there's like 1 or 2 people that are essentially incredibly friendly there and just want to keep me uh like keep upping, uploading the videos and stuff. So it's like, yeah. Oh shit, did I upload? No, I did upload something yesterday. I tried to upload something every single day on the Just for Fans, just to make sure that it keeps ticking over and to make those people happy. So it's like, so yeah, other than those couple of people, essentially Just for Fans doesn't really make me any money. So it's like, um it it does cover some stuff. It's kind of like my Patreon. It's like I upload the Patreon. I update the Patreon every time I make a new video. I upload it there first before it gets revealed to the public. There's a reason. You get access to certain things if you're a patron. So there's that. But Just for Fans and OnlyFans, Just for Fans and Patreon, as well as like a couple of extra jobs that I have like on the side, like editing and like writing and stuff like that. Essentially, they're the things that keep me at around about $200 a month. That's how much I make. So yeah, and that goes to food. It's like, so yeah, it's like I'm I'm kind of screwed when it comes to kind of like that monetary wise. So yeah. Why don't you ask the bears who give you the idea for help on OnlyFans? I did the first time. The first time I basically that I got suggested, because I got suggested by a few people that I should do OnlyFans and stuff, and those people who suggested it were the first people that I basically reached out to, saying like, I did it, I took your advice. Here's my OnlyFans. None of them subscribed, except for one of my boyfriends. Yeah. I think Itchy subscribed. That's the guy I'm talking about. um. So yeah. So that wasn't frustration. I'm still dealing with the I was going to say the weird throat thing, but the self-inflicted throat thing. So yeah. Um. But yes, it's like not one of them does. I also have had um a couple of friends, very specific couple of friends. I'm going to try not to out them. Um, I don't think anybody would know who my buddy Boot Pig is. So I don't think, yeah, I don't think they, yeah. But these people suggested that I start like a, you know, I sell off like, you know, underwear and socks and cum rags and stuff like that. And because they sure would be interested in buying them. And again, a couple of people have said this, and when I offered to ship it to them, nothing. They said they couldn't afford it. So I was like, yeah. Oh well. Oh, I do have one guy that basically I met at Bear Bash, who does always leave with a pair of my socks, at least one pair of my socks. So I mean, there's that guy. I know, right? I know, Panafox. I know. It's like it sounds weird and kind of gross and stuff, but there are people who basically like that stuff, and it's like I don't mind as long as basically they pay me enough to, like, you know, keep me in underpants and socks and stuff. I mean, like, I'd be happy, but like I said, nobody actually wants that from me. So yeah. um. Yes. So if anybody does know any of any kind of like video hosting or like cloud file saving, file sharing like sites or whatever, archiving sites, let me know. I kind of need to know. We're getting to the point where I'm gonna be desperate, especially if the studio thing falls through. I'm probably gonna be just stuck here trying to figure out like another way of making money. So yeah, that'll be cool. Although that won't make me money, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'll figure it out. Maybe. Anyway, yes. Art. So my buddy Andy has got commissions, and if you're on my Discord, you've already seen this. Basically, like I've redesigned and now inked the design for the me in a suit. Basically, I know the eye is fucked up. By the way, yeah, the eye is fucked up. By the way, I don't know if you can tell. And Andy did this. Actually, Andy did this himself. I was doing the inking, sat here doing the inking with the pen, and then I didn't have the TV on or anything. I was just focused on doing this, um, and then like my Discord Messenger notification noise went off, and it surprised me enough to actually like move my finger just slightly, and I fucked up. That's the first time that's ever happened. Well, ever happened. That's the first time it's happened. I was going to say ever happened in a long time, and it was like no, because I already said ever happened. So yeah. Um. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm basically going to continue with this today and just add the texture and add the shading, and then it should be completed. The sketch that I did before, I'm thinking of abandoning completely, only because this one is far more superior to this one, and this one, I don't know if you can see it yet. No, you can just see it. You can just make it out almost. This one also, the paper has kind of degraded by the amount of times that I've had to erase the head, because it just either looked too big or too small. To be fair, the head on this one looks a bit too small to me, but I'm locked in. I'm finishing this one. Um, so yeah, I just don't know if I should abandon this one completely or if I should I don't know what I could do to save it, to be honest, without basically redrawing the whole thing. So I'm thinking of just going straight with that. I did say to myself that I'm going to try to finish both, but like I said, I don't think this is worth the time anymore. I'm going to check with Andy after I finish this one, and we'll see. We'll see. But before I do that, I figured that I would basically upload the pictures that I have done just now through the AI editing stuff, for the AI upscaling stuff. So I figured I would basically upload those now. If anybody's interested in seeing this stuff outside of Discord, because I've mostly been uploading it to Discord. Today I uploaded all of the additions and alterations, the AI alterations and stuff. I uploaded all of those to my Tumblr account, so you can actually see everything that I've done has been uploaded to my Tumblr account. I have 2 Tumblr accounts, by the way. However, I can't access, or at least it won't let me post. I can log into it, but I can't post anything. Because every time I try to post something to it, it just goes on to my main Tumblr account. And if you're looking for my Tumblr account, it's LiveTUBBSart. It's got everything that my Instagram account has and my Facebook account has. Basically, whenever I post a picture, it goes to Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, and then Grommer and Chessable and all of those ones, as well as Discord. Whenever I upload a picture, it goes to those places. So you're just going to see the same stuff. However, every now and again, I log in to check messages or to basically check notifications and stuff to one of these sites, and I do actually see people's comments and stuff. But yeah, that's usually about once a month or so. So if you do leave a comment on something, don't get your hopes up right away, because I mainly, by the way, if anybody wants to communicate me through DMs, I mainly have Facebook Messenger and Instagram and Discord. They're basically the main ones that I use for Facebook Messenger. They're the ones I use for direct messages mostly. I am on other stuff, but like I said, that usually only gets checked once a month or so. So if you want to message me directly on those, you can, but I won't be answering those immediately. So just fair warning, I'm also on Twitter as well, but again, I don't go on Twitter that much. It's become irritating to look at, just its user interface is just annoying. It has always been kind of annoying to me. Has always been kind of annoying to me, but it just seems to have gotten that much worse, especially when they taken down the likes pages and stuff, because I can't see what my friends like. And that's okay if it was an option, but it's not an option. They've made it a mandatory thing, and it's so irritating, because some of us don't mind if our likes are viewed. Some of us like the fact that basically we can go to a friend's page and their likes are visible and we can see what they've liked. And if I like somebody on Twitter, then I like going to their page, and then going to I used to like going to the likes section, and then checking out stuff that's either similar to them or the stuff that they like as well, because it can lead to kind of a fun rabbit hole of really interesting content. There's my concept artist friend. He basically was doing a series of he was doing a series of concept art for buildings, for like the different kinds of buildings, for like different like kinds of future architecture, etc. And this led to a rabbit hole of like all of the stuff that he liked, that he's researching for like all the specific different kinds of designs of buildings, which as a person who likes architecture, like that would be fascinating, you know. But he had to actually tell me, as opposed to me just like looking at stuff. He, you know, when checking out his likes, he actually had to tell me the stuff that he liked so that I could go check it out on Twitter. This was like a month ago or so. And that was irritating as fuck, you know, for both of us probably. So it was like, yeah. Don, I was thinking about you mainly because the last picture that I ran through the photo editor and stuff was yours. Was the picture that I did for you. So, well, was one of the pictures that I've done for you. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, just trying to think. I'm just going back in the conversation thread in my head, and it's like, oh yeah, DMing me. Yeah. So if you want to get in contact with me, those are the ways that are basically are best to get in contact with me. It's either Instagram, Facebook Messenger, or Discord. I check them. You know, they're the ones that are on my phone and stuff like that. Don't ask me for WhatsApp because I do have WhatsApp. I just want to clarify this. I used to just say I don't have WhatsApp, and it's kind of true. But the reason why I used to say I don't have WhatsApp is because I only have WhatsApp for one person. That's my mother. My mother's the only person that's on my WhatsApp. My mother and my mother's husband. You know, I'm not calling him my stepfather. You know, to me, he's always just like going to be that guy. I'm just going to give a random name. He's going to be Frank to me. You know, it's always going to be Frank. It's never going to be stepdad. That sounds weird. Especially since kind of like we're kind of like matching each other's energy all the time. It's not really like a father-son relationship that we have. So it's kind of just you know, we're friends, we're buddies, you know. Yeah. We like to play music together and listen to music together, and like occasionally the like build Meccano sets together at Christmas. It's a thing, you know. It's like that's he's not my dad. He's not even my stepdad. He's just Frank, you know. It's like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're the only people that are on my. It's basically like immediate family are on my WhatsApp. I think my mother-in-law is also on there. Yeah. So I don't have WhatsApp essentially. Like you can't get me to talk on WhatsApp. The reason for this is kind of a humorous story. Yeah, I used to have basically an old Facebook account that actually had my mother on it and everything. And I used to talk to everybody through Facebook Messenger, and like it used to, yeah, Facebook Messenger in the early days, it wasn't like it is now with your contacts and conversations all on one screen. You know, you basically like it was kind of like you had to go into your contacts and then select a person, and then basically you would see the communications that you had, or it would basically be also it might be like a text message system where you see your texts in a row and stuff like that. But yeah, you wouldn't necessarily understand like who each message was from unless they were your Facebook friends or whatever. The point is that I was talking to Patch back in the day. I was talking to Patch, and then I was also talking to my mother because I was on the way to my mother's house, but I basically just opened up my phone and I was talking to Patch about how this really nice guy in this really nice uniform, and like got stuck in the train, the turnstile on the train station. He was his belly was so big he basically got stuck in this thing, and I was watching this as I was coming down the stairs from the train station, and I just quickly texted Patch. Then it's like, you should have seen the belly on this guy. He's really cute too. You know, he's a really hot guy. Um, but I said like, oh, you should have seen the belly on this guy, and I sent that to Patch. Um, but I actually didn't. When I actually got out of the station, I got a random message from my mother, basically saying it's like, belly? Question mark. And I basically had to come up with a very quick lie on the spot. And I basically said, no, he was a Nelly. I'm at the train station. This guy just like he ran through the turnstile and like flipped over and then landed on his ass. Autocorrect. I basically typed some verbal diarrhea that sounded kind of like an excuse, like an adequate excuse. I think she bought it, but that from that moment on, I basically like said like if my mother ever uses any form of communication other than the communication that I use with regular people, I'm going to just like not use that on principle, except for talking to family. And it did work. It did work for a long time. It wasn't just my mother; it was also like various other family members. However, as they've drifted apart, or in my cousin's case, died, basically, it is just my mother and my stepmother, my mother and my mother-in-law, and my father-in-law. So yeah. Oh wow, I'd like to see that. Are you on a delay, Don, or because is that from when I said that I've done one of your pictures? I've literally just done one of your pictures. So yeah, it's a shame that names tonight. What the fuck is wrong with me? You know, Roscoe isn't here because I did a bunch of Wars Club guys, and like before I got to your one. So yeah. Oh, the guy stuck in the turnstile. Yeah. Well, this was like 15 years ago. It's weird how far how far into the future. If you go into London, it's weird how far into the future London has gone, has changed. You know, it's like you know, it's basically the turnstiles. You kind of expect to see those in like in the fucking 80s. You know, they were a remnant from the distant past. Um, Whereas the rest of London, because that's Greater London. That's the outskirts of London is where Romford Station is. And now it's the future. Now it's inside London. It counts as inside London, and they've got like freaking force fields basically in front of you that kind of like disappear completely, and everything's wider and stuff like that. But yeah, back in the past, like they were they were dinky, and this guy was really tall, so he wasn't like fat proportionally. He was just like he was a little bit heavier, but he was also very wide, and he was very tall, and he was in some kind of like he was in some kind of uniform. It looked like it could have been from either the Navy or the Air Force, or just been an airline pilot or something. But he was in a uniform. He wasn't wearing a hat. I just couldn't tell. Son of a bitch. So I've been bitten. I've got a gnat bite on my leg, on my inner thigh. Asshole. Anyway, yeah, he just kind of got stuck. He couldn't actually he couldn't get any more forward because the bar wouldn't go it would go down, but it wouldn't go down any more than the bar behind him was like hitting his leg. So it looked like his tummy was kind of like wedged in from either side. So it wasn't his tummy that was the problem. It was more the fact that he was so thick, he was so deep, that like his ass kind of got stuck in it, I guess, more than anything. But the whole point is that like this was all happening in front of me, and it was just like I just had to quickly like send a message to what I thought would be Patch, but it wasn't. It was my mother instead, and it was like, oh shit. Good thing I didn't elaborate on the whole message. It was like, oh, you should have seen the belly on this guy. It was like, Nelly, the Nelly on this guy. What's a good autocorrect response? It's like, yeah, it corrected the whole sentence. It was weird. Sorry, Mum. But yeah. Yeah. Anyway, before I do the arty stuff, anybody that's in here watching right now, feel free to direct your attention to Discord. I'm about to upload the pictures that I did today. That I did like an hour ago, and then I'm going to get on with doing at least some of the shading for this guy, and maybe even finish it tonight, which would be good, because that means I can get on with the pick dump. So yeah. Anyway, guys, how are you? Again, it's a shame Roscoe isn't here, because, like I said, I got some really good stuff from the sketches I did for the Walrus Club. So yeah, I really had fun with that, with the Walrus Club stuff. Where is the AI art stuff channel on Discord? That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. Right, I don't know. I might have to buy another external hard drive. I've got so many pictures, so many. What's the last thing I uploaded to the AI art stuff thing? Oh, by the way, yeah, I did a picture of Ian earlier, and it would not let me edit the one particular picture of Ian that I drew. And the reasons that it gave was that it's basically it's a photograph, and it's a photograph with a bare belly, and like it doesn't like morphing or fucking with real people, unless they are like dead or something. I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules, the real rules, but I just like steer away from uploading photographs, because every time I've tried to upload a photograph again of me, just to test the system, it basically says like, we don't want to do that. We can change it a little bit, but we don't like altering pictures of normal people, because they can be used as a form of harassment. And it's like, yeah, actually, no, I can see that. I understand that. So, yeah, I get it. But art stuff, it's fine with. I drew Ian so photorealistic that it doesn't want to basically edit this picture of him. I'm seeing that as a triumph, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyway, the first one's very, very surreal. Just pointing that out. But yeah. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if I should do these in batches or not. So, oh fuck. So I just realized I'm missing a picture, and it's because I didn't save it because and I really should have. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, every now and again I refresh. I refresh the chat because you know the chat of the program that I'm using because sometimes it will bleed characteristics from other pictures into the new pictures that I've uploaded. Um, and I don't like it when it does that because that's not what I'm going for, you know. But yeah, so these ones, you'll understand what I say when I say this when you see the picture itself. But the one with the head is creepy because it just looks like a disembodied head that's just been placed on a table or something. And it's just that I don't know why it did this, but it's very, very funny to me. Again, you'll see it when you see it, you'll know. So yeah. So it's basically the picture. I drew a picture of my face, but with a huge cheeks and a huge extra chin. Um, and I asked it to improve that image, and it did it photorealistic. So it does look like my face, but it's like I said, it did it photorealistic, and it put it on a table or on like a photo studio set, just this one big head, and it's like, why? It's so creepy and weird. So creepy and weird looking. Don't do that. Anyway, yeah. So it's that one, and yeah, I'm using a like it's not the best AI upscaler, but it's it's better than Chat GPT with all of its frugalities. It's yeah, it's that's annoying. So it gets some things right away and sometimes not. Oh, by the way, if anybody uses any of these programs, head size. It seems to have a problem with head size. I don't understand why it has a problem with head size, but sometimes it will get it okay, but then it really starts to exaggerate it unless you basically like give it incredibly specific prompts. I don't know if anybody else has had this problem with AI, but yeah. Right, is that all the pictures? That's all the pictures. So yeah, the head one is creepy, and you guys will see why. I'm uploading it to Discord now. But yeah, I like how it kind of looks like me, but also not look like me. But at the same time, I'm glad because it's a disembodied head. It's like, why did it put it down on something? Oh, it's weird. Anyway, okay, and now I'm doing the Wars Club. Is it the Wars Club ones next, or is it Don's one? I think it's the Wars Club. It is the Wars Club ones. Okay, so The Wars Club ones were very, very fun. Especially if you understand the whole Wars Club thing. Like they have kind of this you know, the English Wars Club like thing anyway. They have kind of like a kind of a ranking, an unofficial ranking system of, like, you know, you got newbies, you know, you basically got the SEALs, which are kind of like just chubby guys, you know. Then you got the members who have been there for a while, you know, and they're usually very, very round guys. And then you got the kind of like the lifelong members who have been there for fucking ever, and they're huge. And I basically like just plotted out the course of this one particular member as he goes through the 3 stages of being in the Wars Club. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in a second. But yeah, if you are looking at these images right now, and you are back in the chat, then like let me know how they go. Like let me know if there's like, I'd love it for people to talk about this with me, because I find it fascinating how it, you know, the AI changes stuff. So yeah, less talking, more clicking. I just turned on the computer. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm missing an image. I don't know where this went. Basically, I did an old timey ringmaster image. Like a while ago, I did a sketch of an old timey ringmaster inflating for oh god, for Balloon Blower Mike, and he you know, he really liked that, but I managed to get it to be almost perfect. However, it kept, every time I kept changing something, it decreased his size for some reason. So and for some reason, I've only got the first image, the direct translation that it thought was an improvement. I've only got the first one on here, and I'm going to upload it in a second. I'm having an issue. Yes, that one, and then the last one. I think I'm going to type that on, like. There we go. That is eerie. The disembodied head. Yeah, I know, right? It's just when it spat that out, because you know, like it kind of does the thing where it's like you know, it slowly reveals what it's done, kind of thing. It was like, yeah, this is perfect, perfect, perfect. And then when it basically finished, it was like, oh, okay. What? Yeah. It's like, that's photorealistic disembodied giant head. Yeah. Yeah, somebody should like go throw something at Roscoe to basically tell him that about the Wars Club picks to see if he likes them. I think they're good progressions. It's a fun little progression series. Anyway, right, and the last set that I did today is it's only 2 pictures. I thought I saved more, but I think these are the only 2 pictures that made it from that one picture that looked any good. Like the rest of them, I just couldn't get it to work right. But this is from this one. The next 2 pictures, no, the next 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures that are going through the AI are going to be also yours, Don. They're the next ones in the sequence, because they're out of sequence on my file system for some reason. So I've just been doing them in the sequence in which they've been on the computer, but the computer basically has like I haven't organized it so that it sorts them chronologically. It sorts them, via file name, which is out of order. So yeah, but it's this one. So it's from this series, and this series is the one that's going through the AI thing next. So I'm hopeful that we're going to get proper proportions almost first time every single time, because like it almost nailed it with this one. So with this one picture, and he's not full sized yet, so maybe it'll work. Who knows? But hopefully you'll get a kick out of it. Maybe. Oh, that's funny. The blown up coach one is not yours. I think that's somebody else's. Zamo. It's a Zamo's, I think. I kept thinking that was also yours, but that was a trade that we did, I think. So yeah. Anyway, I've uploaded those to Discord on my server. They are going to be uploaded before I go to bed. They're going to be uploaded on the other server, the Titanic Toon Dudes, TTD, which is a server on Discord that is just it's a male fat and inflation and macro, micro, muscle, whatever. It's a male appreciation fantasy gallery that I created only because basically there are tons of these for women. There's tons of these if you want to see a picture of a woman in various forms of like whatever. However, the male one, there doesn't seem to be a man only one. So yeah, I made one a while back. So yeah, the second one. Yeah, at first it spat it out. That's the first iteration. That's literally the first one that it spat out, and then the second one, I basically told it to, I literally told it to just tuck in the shirt and add the braces, and it did it. but it shrank him. See what I mean about the whole thing of like it's like, unless you basically tell it explicitly, and I forgot, I'm sorry, to basically keep the proportions exactly the same, only, you know, make these changes. Unless you do that, it doesn't actually, it tries to basically make the proportions more realistic. I had to continuously say this for every single one of the Wars Club like pictures that I posted before I posted your picture. So yeah, I keep touching my gnat bite on my leg, and I'm just like, oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, I'm glad you like that. Again, more of your stuff is coming out probably by the end of tonight. Maybe, because I might do that before I go to bed. I don't know. It depends how sleepy I am after I finish doing this. So yeah, I'm glad you like it. You're fascinated that you adjusted pics like that. I don't know why, but that doesn't sound like a proper sentence. I'm not grammar Naziing you. I'm just saying, like, my brain had a trouble with that. Had a trouble with that. See what I mean? It's like, don't. You're screwing with the grammatical sequencing in my brain. I'm not. I'm not kidding. If people basically do this to me, it can fuck with my head. I know. You didn't have to correct. It's just my brain. It does this. Somebody fucked with me in college doing that. Somebody screwed with me in college. They basically just reorganized the words that they used in real time, and I was like that's really cool that you can do that. And then basically they started doing it, and the way that my brain like processes language is already screwed up. So when they did it to me, I reorganized it so that I understood them. But then I returned with a jumbled sentence, and it just kind of like it killed me almost for the rest of the day. Almost for the rest of the day. I managed to fix myself, but Jesus Christ, they really were just like fucking with me. It was like, I need to write shit. I can't do it when I'm like this. Anyway, yeah, it's neat that you can just ask it to do things, and it actually does it this time. The AI images have gotten really good. There are times though when I basically have uploaded stuff and it spat out nonsense. I haven't saved those though. Maybe I should save some to basically show you, but yeah, it's some of them are complete nonsense. For example, before this image of yours, I tried to upload the image of him getting into the super baggy clothing, and it basically spat out an image of a guy wearing a kimono. I think it was in a ring pool. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like a paddling pool. Basically, it was essentially like a giant bicycle wheel that he was just standing in. It was very confused. See what I mean? However, it goes from that to basically, just tuck the shirt in and add suspenders, and it does it. Does it just like that. So, yeah. Although in some of the pictures, in like previous pictures that you might have seen, I can't remember which ones it is exactly. I think there's. I think it's the giant farmer. Oh my god! No, no, no. I think it's the giant farmer. The giant farmer set of pictures. It essentially kind of it kept moving his pipe. I had to keep telling it to basically like put the yeah. and also the dream sequence. It had a problem also with characters and designs of where they are and stuff like that. So it's not super accurate all of the time, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. AI has come a long way. So yeah. So anybody else like the demon? I really like the demon, the way the demon pictures come out. Like I really like that. That was really fun to play with. You know, I was basically telling it to like, you know, it's like, oh, add dramatic lighting. It's like, okay, remove the dramatic lighting because we can't see the changes we're making. You know, and I was like, and you know, add more bulk to the top of him. It's like, and then it was like, oh, no, like now making more bottom heavy, but keep the muscle mass of the top. And it was like, it was this whole thing of like, you know, just adjusting so that I can get this kind of like foreboding, you know, massive presence, as well as like, you know, just keep the demonic air with the lighting and all of that stuff. It was really cool. It was really fun. So yeah, it's weirdly, this is what I mean. It's kind of like a computer game to me. You know, it's like, oh, what can I change? How does it work? And all that stuff. Yeah. The blueberry pictures, it doesn't understand sometimes. Um, and yet at some other points, it totally gets it. So I don't get it. I don't know. So yeah. ChatGPT in particular was really frustrating today, um, because I was trying to perfect the dream, you know, the Hawaiian dream sequence that I described. And I was trying to perfect it because it was so close. It was so close with its first iteration. I literally just wanted it to remove somebody. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I wanted it to basically, you know, have but the first picture that it spat out. I'm gonna go through this real try to go through this real quick. Basically, the only things wrong with it, I don't know if you can see this picture or not, but essentially it's like it's perfect. It it captured everything almost completely perfectly from my one. It just polished it a little bit, and that was amazing. However, when he first sees her in the in you know, in the ocean, pulling out the giant shell, you know, with the flowers in her hair and everything, I basically like that's a big moment, and I wanted it to correctly depict that from my picture, and it didn't. It basically has her sitting, like he's looking at her, but she's sitting far away in the ether for some reason. Um, Annoying. I told it to correct this. Um, the facial hair that he's got when he's basically like in the middle of his life, with his new wife and everything is wrong. I told it to correct this, and and also like he should be supporting his daughter and also basically holding up the parasol for his wife. I told it to correct this, you know, and on the final image, basically nothing wrong there. There are no notes. That is the perfect like ending for him. Um, exactly how I thought it would be. Only I asked it to like I asked him to basically be holding onto the branch of the well the stem, the the trunk. That's it, of the palm tree next to him, and to also remove the random person that it decided to just put just at the bottom. I don't know who that's supposed to be. It just kind of like it just generated a random guy just in the very very bottom of the picture. So all of this picture with these edits, just I also then told it to basically everything else is perfect. Don't change anything. The next picture. I don't know if you're looking at it or not. I'm looking at it. What am I doing? Yeah, here we go. So this is the original image. You have issues with asking for spherical guys. Yeah, it's fucked sometimes. It's really fucked. It's really fucked sometimes. Yeah. So this is the original image that I sent to GPT. So you can see he's made it to Hawaii and one of the Hawaiian islands. He sees the woman exactly like how he painted, how he saw her in the dream. And then this the next stage of his life where basically he's holding on to his daughter, and she's got she's chasing a butterfly. He's holding up a parasol for his wife. And then this is the last, this is the end of his life, and he's just kind of leaning onto a tree, and he's got a bad back and everything, but he's happy still, and again, GPT spat this out, and like I said, this is beautiful and it's perfect, apart from the things that I've mentioned, like you know like the, she's not in the pose that I put her in. That wound me up, and I already told you the changes I would like there, in the middle life scene. It's where are his hands? They're just his hands are nowhere, and that's annoying. But the rest of it is perfect, apart from he's got a full beard, and I wanted him to have an Ambrose, just an exposed chin kind of thing. And also the parasol is just floating here, and I wanted him to hold it. But other than that, perfect. GPT has perfectly maintained the proportions. I don't mind that he didn't have a mustache, but in the second iteration, which you'll see in a minute, he added the mustache back without me prompting, And the last one is it's almost perfect. It's a slight wobble with the belly, but it's in my picture, it's not perfectly proportionate either, but it is still kind of it's fairly just round. It doesn't go into the leg for some reason, like it is here. But other than that, it's the perfect amount of facial hair, and it's clearly the same guy. They all have the same nose, kind of, and it's like the him at the end of his life, and he's just happy, and it's everything's about that is right, and again, I don't know why it put a random guy just here, just a random dude. Whatever. But yeah, so I asked it to do all of these changes. Here's what it spat out. Firstly, it shrank him a little bit. Don't mind about that. That's still, he's still proportionate to the spirit of the original picture. But what the fuck? Also, I've also noticed this when I asked it just about general stuff, and I try to I play with it sometimes with GPT specifically about making stories and stuff, and make little stories, mini stories and stuff like that. It tries to make everything gay. Why? I don't know why. It doesn't do this with women, by the way. I've tested it basically, like asking it to, like make a story from a woman's perspective, like seeing a guy that she likes and basically all of this stuff. That's fine. But if I do it from a guy's perspective and like he's trying to woo somebody and I don't specifically say that it's a woman, or I don't keep reminding it that it's a woman, it's like it either gives the woman specific masculine traits, or it straight up just says, and then he turns and kisses him, and it's like, who does? The waiter? Who did this right now? Like the mailman? Where are we? It's confusing. I don't know why, but GPT in particular makes everything gay, or tries to make everything gay. I'm not really super complaining. It's just that it's weird sometimes especially when you prompt it. But yeah, it tried to make this gay. Although he does have a sterner expression on his face, so maybe it's like, ooh, I thought I saw my beautiful, vision, but it's a dude, you know. So yeah, it made her into a bear for some reason. I don't understand that, especially since I asked it not to do that. But yeah, and then it just straight up like fucked with this image, the middle one. I don't know why it did this. Apart from her, everything else is just wrong. Everything is wrong. However, it saves your preferences. I've been testing it out with different stuff though. I haven't typed in stuff that's continuously gay. The first story that I asked it to write was about basically was a detective story. So and there were no gay people in it at all. There was just, basically sexuality never came into it apart from when, basically like the detective's brother's fiance is murdered, and like one of the antagonists is also into this woman who was murdered, and it was it's basically like it's completely cis heterosexual relationships in that story. So I don't know if it would save those preferences, especially since I haven't drawn anything and put it in as, it doesn't make sense. The only saving grace in all of this is, like I said, like he added a mustache to him here. This guy is not the same guy as either of these two. And it nailed him essentially at the end of his life. It just this is almost perfect. Apart from the, like I said, he should be kind of like straining, and it got rid of the palm tree and stuff. So I don't understand that. So it nailed this part, and yes, it got rid of the guy, but maybe the guy was part of the palm tree. I don't know. So yeah, GPT is pretty good, like up to a point. And then again today, I had a huge fight with it because I was trying to do more refinements to this, and it kept basically, I kept asking it to do very specific things. It then didn't do any of the things that I asked it to. And then when I said, it's like, how can I get this across to you that, I would like these things adjusted? It then said back to me, it gave me a a text description of exactly what I wanted to see. It gave me in text, it gave me a complete description of everything I want to see. It said, I would make these changes to make this like this, and this like this, and this like this. And it's like, that's perfect. Yeah, go for it. It wasted 4 images giving me the same shit and not doing any of the things that it had said that it was gonna do. So it frustrated the crap out of me today. And that's been the first time that it has actually frustrated the crap out of me. That's probably why I had so much fun on the, the free AI software, and just have been like spitting out the pictures that I've already spat out. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, see, this is the kind of nonsense I'm talking about. Oh my God. Why does it has perfect parts of like this one, and this one. They are partly perfect. But yeah, this is the third iteration from yesterday, not today, that it gave me. And yes, him, perfect. Her, perfect, although a bit too close. The middle one, what the fuck is going on? Oh my God. Is she wearing the parasol? I don't understand. It's like it's part of her hairband, and it's a parasol. And who is this guy? And what the what is he holding? What is that? What even is that? And is the butterfly part of her hand now? His hand, its hand, And why did you put pants on him? He's in a Victorian era swimsuit. And also smaller for some reason, but I guess it wants to promote realism. And I did say that I wanted the palm tree back, and I wanted the arms. So yeah, but the hat is also slightly obscured. But yeah, it's just like this part perfect. This part nearly perfect. And this part nearly perfect. It's like it's got certain aspects that just are nearly perfect, on all 3 of them. And that was yesterday. Like I said, today we just had more of this nonsense. It was just more of this nonsense and this nonsense. It just like it kept like getting things that I asked for correct, but then basically fucking up somewhere else. And I am tempted to put it through a regular editing software and just kind of lasso certain parts. Sorry, I was hiccuping. That wasn't a yawn, that was a hiccup. And then just kind of copy and paste them onto each other and see how that looks and stuff. But it's just that's really arduous, and I do not have time for it at the moment. So yeah, that's been the fun with GPT. Oh, also out of nowhere, by the way, basically I got really frustrated, and I just was like, yesterday I got really frustrated, and I just said, could you do a progression of like this character? Basically, like, could you just do your iteration, GPT, of this character? And I described him perfectly, in great detail. This one. Could you do like a 4-part series of how this guy turns into this guy, right? I asked it to basically just like do like just the same that I've done, only add a panel of your own to do with whatever you want. Basically, I just want like a 4-part series, so I expected it to split the piece of paper the digital paper into 4 parts and basically have like him, like he is here, like another one of him like slightly older, maybe with a beard, another one slightly older, maybe with like the Ambrose or like a back to the mustache, who knows, whatever. And then finally, this guy would be at the end of the progression. I asked it to basically just do that. It gave me this. It is, right? I was actually kind of like, oh, that's really cool. I like that. I do like that. However, it's not what I fucking asked for, is it? You know, I was beginning to go slightly loopy yesterday, basically, and I didn't want to waste my limited amount of tries to get this right, because you only get like 4 or 5 tries to basically to get GPT to do what you want to do before basically you have to pay money for it, which is totally understandable. I totally get it, and that's why I haven't been kind of like that frustrated with the program. However, if it's going to continuously waste my attempts to get it right, then I will get frustrated because it's done really good work in the past. So why is it now deciding to fuck up? You know, and it's not like it's yeah. Yeah, so this isn't what I asked for. If anything, this guy is the beginning of the progression that I asked for. He should be over here. He should be at this end, and also, um, that's where the you know the elderly Santa blimp should be. He should be at the end. This is a prequel progression to the one that I wanted. GPT to do. Where did this come from? The thing is, I want to know where this came from in the first place. Like, the prompt wasn't for this at all. It was like I asked for a comic style strip, not a, um, basically I asked for the thing that I did, but for it to do its interpretation of exactly what I'm describing. I essentially wrote the story for it, the story of the dream. I wrote that down into GPT, and I was expecting it to basically depict the things, but in its interpretation, and it gave me this. Don, I know you're probably gone already, but could you do me a favor? Could you at least give me a warning that I have to be in bed in like 40 minutes or something, or 30 minutes or 15 minutes even, you know? Like because I like talking to you, and I really hate that basically like we're in a good flow, and then all of a sudden you basically just like, okay, bye, and then you're usually just gone. Oh, yeah, I don't even know if you're even just gone. Sometimes you just go, and then sometimes you stick around to just answer one question, but then that's it. Then you are gone, and that winds me up so much. Have a good night, Don. Have a good sleep. I'm bad at going to bed at reasonable. Again, I don't have an issue with that. I don't, honestly. I do not have an issue with you going to bed at reasonable times, or even unreasonable times, if that was a joke. But like I said, just a warning. Do you want a proper goodbye or not? Do you want a proper goodbye, or did you? Are you gone? Are you actually gone now? I keep getting the feeling like you already got. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Anyway, yeah, I don't know where this came from, and it's winding me up so much. It winds me up that this is good. This is good work. I really do. I appreciate it. You know, it's cool, everything. But here's where my frustration came today. Here's where my frustration came today. I asked it to continue this progression to the the Santa blimp that we end up with at the end of the story. I asked it to continue the progression to that point, exactly this style, but continue and it wouldn't do it. And it kept telling me again. It kept telling me that it was exactly what I wanted to hear, and then produced another one of these, or a worse version of this each and every single time. And it really frustrated me. Yeah, either wouldn't do the thing I wanted it to do with my original picture, or it wouldn't do the thing that it did by accident, apparently. So yeah, oh my god. So creepy, weird. But yeah. Anyway, that's that for you. What are you gonna do? I guess I should get on with the art. Otherwise, I am going to be here all night. It looks like I'm already going to be here until like sun up. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to rush this. There's not much to do with it. It literally is just doing the suit. I kind of wanted to know if I don't know. Andy's like long unconscious, so he's not going to be in the chat right now. But I kind of wanted to ask his opinion on if the suit should be textured. Basically, it has like a pattern to it or something. Because it's not color, it's a black and white sketch. So yeah, I'm going to try to make it more sepia tone, maybe in the editing, in the finishing. But yeah. Where did the walrus face picture go? So it's not on here. There it is. Why didn't that load up? Anyway, yeah. Panda Fox, are you still around? That was way louder than I thought it was going to be. If not, then that was wasted. It says that nobody's watching, so I don't know, but that the view counter lies. So yeah, I didn't know if Panafox was still here. Right, I am all alone. Where is me? Where is me? Get the shading pencil out. That was weird. A random shadow just went across my computer. Creepy. As long as the spiders are going to just shut up. No yawning. As long as the spiders are going to just randomly drop on me, I think I'm okay. Oh, texturing is boring. It's boring when you're putting the TV on. You know. Morning songbirds already, really. I need to really sharpen the very, very tip of my pencil. Because I need to do my nostrils. Can I do the nostrils though? Because the pencil is actually really blunt at the very, very tip, so I have to kind of like get a really kind of like steep angle. Stupid paper. I should have put music on. I really should have. I don't know what's wrong with me. Is anybody out there? Anybody out there? You know, the nature sounds of everything waking up is kind of like it's incredibly peaceful, but at the same time it's like kind of annoying. So that's when I'm going to bed. you know. Oh, I should have asked. I should have said something to Panafox because I have noticed a couple of the pictures, the portraits of myself, the portraits of me. Whenever I've put them through the AI enhancement program, they sometimes, well, if it's a close-up detailed close-up of me and my face, then it's normally fine. But what happens is, for some reason, it depicts me as a black guy, which I have no problem with. But it's like I kind of don't know how to feel about it. Like I said, I don't really have a problem with it. I'm just kind of more confused than anything. I think it's just the level of shading that I put on. So, yeah. The pencil's being awkward. But yeah, I've only ever saved one of the pictures, and that's mainly because it's one of the Crusoe pictures, and it looks really good. I mean, it's not me anymore, obviously, but it still looks really good. I don't know whether to smooth out the pencil lines or not. I feel like it adds texture to the actual suit. You know, I think I might keep them. I think I'm going to keep them. I'm not going to smooth those out. Why have I got the open still? I had Discord open on my computer. I think I'm almost done. It's quite quick. I'm deciding to actually give a bit of texture to the pants. Just to round them out a little bit. With the textured waistcoat. It says that somebody's watching me. Whoa. Well, I hope they're friendly. Even if it is just a ghosty ghost. I found that most ghosts are friendly anyway. I mean, why dwell? They're already dead. Oh, it's fucking with my eyesight a little bit. Oh. Hey, Roscoe. Did you see the new pics in Discord? I added some Wars Club pictures to the AI upscaler. They look really, really good. You should definitely check them out. Got to remember. Right, that's great and everything, but it's my art that's been enhanced by AI. So whatever, have a look at it if you want. I put a bunch of the Wars Club sketches that I did through the enhancement program, and I think, I mean, you can think what you want. I think that they came out like really good. Especially there's like a progression in one of the pictures. I'm not trying to get you to look at them, by the way. I'm just very happy with like how like the three stages of being a Walrus Club member is depicted through this one guy, just because I basically kept adding weight to him, essentially. And it's labeled and everything. It's just, I think it's really good. I'm okay. Get a bit tired again, but I'm okay. Yeah. I think I'm done. I don't think I can actually add anything more lighting or texture wise to this. I'll show you in just a second. I'm literally just like noticing a couple of things that I did want to actually highlight now that I've said that. I mean, you say something and then you're like, oh, nope, that was completely wrong. I suck. So around the buttons, I wanted to just do a little tiny bit of a shadow, hint of a shadow. Yeah. I'm gonna. I think it looks okay. I think it looks okay. Just add in the smokiness from the pipe. I think I'm done. It is finished. I'm just curious now. Okay, you've piqued my curiosity. Why don't you like AI art? Because I don't like AI art as well. Just kind of seeing if it's the same reason. Scanning. That took a while. That was weird. I want people's actual hands stroking against the screen. Or pad, I guess. Paper is what I meant to say. So when people do like the sliders and the color corrections and all of that stuff in like editing, you don't like that? When people use filters, you don't like that? There used to be a vignette I could add, but it doesn't let me do that. Why doesn't it let me do that? Save. Right, I am if. Bye.